And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you're listening. It's Wednesday. It's April 8th. It's 2026. And may I state for the record, an eventful day with a little bit to discuss. But what we really want to do today is markets. As much markets as possible. In case you don't know, this is serious talk on everything that affects you. We do the markets, the economy, your job, your industry, war, peace deals, ceasefires, tariffs, corruption, scams, shams, anything that comes to mind. And if you do not get this radio show in your city, we will post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our X feed. If you don't follow us on X, you should. Just put our name in. And if you'd like to email us, just be nice. No. All you got to do is be nice. Completely disagree with what I have to say, but be nice. I can completely disagree with you, and I will be nice. Right? We'll also post it on the YouTube channel of BizTV. So just at the outset, if Donald Trump cured cancer today, the left would complain that you're going to put the doctors out of business. Now, that's a little sarcasm, but that is correct. I watched a little bit, and I know what to watch. I know who to watch. I was told that the left has been almost rooting on us losing in order for the president to lose. And I watched. And I must tell you, based on what I saw, I hate to say, it is not a reach to say the left is almost rooting on us losing because they hate the man. Now, of course, if there was somebody on the left doing exactly what President Trump has been doing and saying, you see all these people on the right praising him, they would be cursing that person out. In other words, there's no conscience anymore. There's no scruples anymore. It's all politics, and that's the shame. So we're going to leave you off with that. It's unfortunately a fact of life. They just don't give a crap. The left is treating what's going on as the end of the world, the destruction of mankind. And of course, the right is saying he's godlike. We have only one hope. One hope. We hope we get peace. We're going to leave it at that. We're done. As we have said to you, as much as the things we disagree with the president, we are rooting him on. We hope he gets it right. We hope he does great things. We hope we can come on here and praise the living hell out of him, like I praise his golf courses. Seriously. Pretty much the greatest golf course I ever played was Trump, Scotland. Pretty much the greatest, and I played all the great courses. We move on. So, in case you don't know, there was some deal, a ceasefire peace deal, where one does this, the other one does that. I am letting you know, and I'm just stating facts of the day. All the news that has been coming out all day Seriously, not kidding. They're not living by the rules of the peace deal. And I read today that Iran is shutting the Hormuz Strait again. But we're saying don't worry, and we're meeting with them. I don't know what the hell's going on. But I will state, oil prices today were down $10. And that's not bad. The market today gapped up, get this, to 48,017. It was up $1,433 points right at the open. At worst today, it pulled back to about 1,100 points. Yeah, at worst. Finished up 1325. And as usual, what does the heavy lifting? As we have told you, the Dow is completely price weighted. Goldman Sachs is almost 20 times more important to the price of the Dow than the cheapest name in Verizon. If Verizon went to zero from here, it would be about 300 Dow points. If Goldman Sachs went to zero, it'd be 5,800 Dow points. They need to figure out a better way. So today, Goldman and the number 2 highest price name, Caterpillar. Between the two, Caterpillar was up, let's call it about 6.7%. Goldman was up about 4.5%. Between the two, 9 times 6 is 54, 58. Let's call it about 540 Dow points. Just two names. And you had some other good names. When you have oil prices come down, yields come down. So they really popped up something in a bear market that's in the Dow, like a Sherwin-Williams, up 21 today. The stock has been nothing but a downtrend. That's about 130, 140 Dow points. JP Morgan up 10. Better financial day. American Express up almost 10. That right, those two are 130 Dow points. What was down today? I have to tell you, I don't know what's wrong, but IBM was down 3. Salesforce.com, a software name, down 6.5. On a day where the NASDAQ did finish up 617. By the way, the NASDAQ at the open was up about 810. At the worst was up 500, finished up 617. And Chevron was down 8 today, but the big oil got hit today. But a strong gap day, and typically a strong gap day, you know what it does? It sits most of the day, and that's what it did. Now, my job is to let you know what's sticking out. First off, what was strong before today's gap to the upside? The semiconductors. Do you know the semiconductor index finished at a new high, up 6.3% today? Seriously. Do you know a Monday ago, last Monday, it was croaking? Do you know I was on TV that morning telling Stuart Varney, I just want to let you know I'm really worried about the semis, they're croaking. Excuse me, it was Tuesday morning the next day. And I highlighted Micron and NVIDIA. And NVIDIA is still dead, but Micron is shot up again. And it's gone pretty much straight up. So I'm just letting you know the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index hit new highs today. And why would that be? Well, because we have a list of 75 semiconductor stocks. And a bunch of it broke out of range today. I can tell you Teradyne, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 week breakout today with some good volume. You have some Intel breaks out today on volume. Yeah, that name. How about Monolithic Power, MPWR, breaks out today. And when we break out, it's hit a high weeks and weeks ago, was getting in trouble, and boom, in a few days, boom, new highs. Up next, what else going on in the markets? This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. What else was strong? Well, what was strong before today besides the semis? Well, let's see. SanDisk up 8% today. Lumentum Light up about 8% today. Fabrinet FN up about 8% today. Ciena up about 8-9% today. Coherent up 8-9% today. Seagate up about 5% today. Western Digital up about 6% today. What are all these guys? Oh, that's right. They are in that fiber optic, memory, storage, data crap. What do we tell you about relative strength? What typically leads when the clouds clear? They get on the go. Well, the clouds may have cleared today. They got on the go today. Now, of course, we remain in the most news-driven environment of all frickin' time, where who knows what's tomorrow because we're dealing with decisions of the few. But absent all that, today was a pretty good confirmation day. I believe volume confirmed today, higher than yesterday on a big day, and we'll see what happens. Do not forget, we called the confirmation day April 22nd of 25. That was after the president backed out of the crazy Liberation Day tariffs. Had to, he was crashing the markets. The market rallied 2,500 points quickly. Then he was taunting, I believe it was China, so it pulled back a little bit. Then there was relief. We had the confirmation day, and then we got moving. Will we get moving again? Well, something has to happen. I want you to listen carefully. This is muy importante. Before the war, what were the big indices doing for months? Nothing. Before the war, the NASDAQ did nothing since mid-October. November, December, January, 3 months, February, 4 months, March, 5 months, we're 6 months now. And of course, we just had the drop on the war. Is that over? Well, let's hope. But what happens from here? Well, first and foremost, one would suggest the areas I just mentioned will probably continue to lead, probably. And not everything, because we have earnings coming on soon. But there is a question whether the big indices will be ready to bust out of that range. If they do, that'll be a big breakout, and I'll be yelling and screaming it. But I'm not so sure we're there yet. You go back to the S&P also, same thing. The Dow is sitting where it is right now, beginning of October. By the way, 4 days ago, the S&P was sitting where it was last August. But nice little bump up. So no cold water on today, except I just have to let you know. What is the one technology area we've been telling you to avoid? The one. Software. Do you know with the NASDAQ up over 600 today? Adobe was down. Salesforce.com was down. Microsoft was down until the last few minutes. SAP was down. And the IGV, WCLD, and the CLOU, those are all three software ETFs. They were down today. As I look to my left, ZS down, VEEV down, GWRE down, Intuit down 20. Workday down 8. GoDaddy was down. Got a few others you probably haven't heard of. So we're just letting you know, we're being very wary of software. They couldn't rally today. Salesforce.com is a Dow stock and was down 6 today. Still avoid. You got that? You'd still avoid. As I look at my screens, the oils were down mostly, but a few were up. But everything else bounced. Garbage was down. The waste managements and stuff. And a few smattering of things down. But mostly everything bounced. I want to make sure you know there were so many stocks way beneath support levels and moving averages that today will not change that, but maybe start the repairing of that. We're going to stick with the leaders, close our eyes, hold our nose, and pray. The small and mid caps were stronger than the large caps. I will let you know that the Russell 2000 finished above the 50-day moving average, but still range bound. The mid cap 400 finished above the 50-day moving average, but still range bound. But they are stronger. We also had mentioned recently how the transports were so strong before the drop. The transports are back near the highs at the close today. Though there is a little skewing. Symbol car, Avis Rent-A-Car, with that huge short position has gone vertical over the last 3 weeks. By the way, Avis Rent-A-Car has gone from 100 to 260. And it's in the transports. It's a short squeeze. It's happened before. So that's skewed a little bit. But overall, the rails and truckers just plain old strong. Can't complain. What else? Wasn't impressed with the airlines. They were up strong early, but they got sold down today. Delta was up, open up today at 74, closed at 68. Interesting. United opened up, 102.5, closed at 96.30. So don't call me impressed by the airlines. The cruise lines that are also supposed to benefit from such a move in oil, they were up today, but Royal Caribbean finished up a nice $11. It was up 36 right at the open. Not kidding. So there was distribution on some things that you would think would be up today because of the lower oil prices. Just want you aware of that also. But overall, strong gap up. Back and fill the rest of the day. Finished on a decent note because we did rally into the close a little bit. The Dow, let's see, in the last 30 minutes went up 200 points. It was only up 11 and change, finished up 13 and change. Up next, well, what about tomorrow? This is the one only Investor's Edge. Tomorrow, I don't have a clue. I have no idea what tomorrow brings. What I do know is many more better patterns, better setups off of today's move. It was a very important day. But I have to repeat once again, we're quite news-driven. And suppose, here's a good question, suppose that Iran violates the hell out of whatever this deal is, and the president puts it back on the clock. I know there's a 2-week thing now, but what if he comes back and says, screw this, tomorrow, look out. And these are the things we don't have any control of. We had no control last year on the tariffs. no control of this right now, and the decisions that are being made that are the most major league of decisions out there. Major league. And whether you're with or without, whether you hate or you love, we do have to deal with reality. Tomorrow will be another day. Today, I will tell you straight out, a lot of confusion. A lot of moving parts. I would have thought today, seriously, the market was going to cave based on some of the news I saw. That they're shutting the strait again, and they're pissed off and no deal. Seriously. Market did not cave. Oil prices did not drop big. Rally up big. Still finished down $10. Tomorrow, be another day. What else? Well, the financials had a good day. And you know how weak they have been? I believe I mentioned to you that Bank of New York and Citigroup were the strongest banks, and I have to tell you, they're both near the highs. Others, not so much. That's a strength, but others got back above some moving averages today. Good to see. And actually, there are some names really close to the highs. I noticed a State Street Bank investment manager. In fact, that looks about ready to break out of about 2 to 3 month trading range. No, not kidding. Northern Trust, a super regional. That looks about ready also. I noticed TD getting close. That's a Canadian bank. It's got a little bit of that showing up on my screens. And then, as I mentioned earlier, those semis. Just really, they were strong before today. Gap up, finish well. Again, tomorrow's another day. You know what I would love now? Go back to last year, the 3 days, the 15th, the 16th, the 17th, and the 21st. I guess we were off the 20th. Why would it have been off the 20th? Was it Good Friday last year, the 20th? Go back there and you will see 4 days of a nice, controlled pullback right before another jam. I would love to see something to that effect. But the market doesn't care what I want. But good day today. I get asked questions about defense stocks. If we lose the war, I think they don't perform, but who the hell knows? They had a good day today. Most of them. I've been asked about gold incessantly. What did we say to you? That 400 on the GLD looks like the hold, and we'll see. Needs plenty more work. Silver, not as strong as gold at all. The Bitcoin was up today. Actually finished a little bit above the 50-day moving average, but still looks bearish as all heck. And I wouldn't go near it. I had somebody try to get me involved in some sort of Bitcoin mining company. I graciously did not accept. Graciously. Tomorrow again, don't know what happens. Again, we love to see like 2 or 3 days, just calm, quiet, little, and put in this little handle, a little U, and then jump. Makes life easier for me on a technical basis. So again, as we said, the optical, Corning, Sienna, Coherent, Fabrinet, Lumentum, this new Powell Industries that did a 3-for-1 split, Seagate, Western Digital, Teradyne in the semis looks to be strong, Vertiv, data centers, and then there's some, I don't know if the word's lower class semiconductors, less institutional sponsorship semis into new high ground. How about an ACLS with their 4 quarters of dropped earnings and sales? How about a Cirrus Logic? These are all edging into new high ground. How about AEHR, which reported earnings? A 5-cent loss on a 44% drop in sales. It was up 25% today. Beats the hell out of me what's going on there. And because they didn't see anything good. We mentioned Intel. And there's actually a few others. Economically sensitive stocks have been dead. They gapped up today. And we look for which is the strongest. Well, Cummins Inc. was strong before the war. Up 7% today, back above the 50-day. How about Parker Hannifin was strong before the war, up 6% today, back above the 50-day. Remember, these aren't breaking out, but back above. How about something called Wabtec? Transportation equipment was strong before the war. Guess what? Finished at new highs. I have yet to go through the new high list tonight. There's not a lot, but I'm going to find some, and I can promise you we have not been able to find much in recent past. So good start, except the software stocks. Can I just say holy crap? And I'm going to throw one more at you because I didn't see any news. Palantir, a very beloved stock, finished down 9 today on increase in volume, breaking below the 50-day after gapping up today, was up 6 or 7 on the open. That got distributed by institutions on a 600-point NASDAQ day. I'd be wary of that one right now. And by the way, the stock's trading where it was last June and is still down 30% from the highs in October, in spite of the incessant gotta own the stock talk. South Korea broke back above the 50. That was very strong before the war. We're going back to what was strong before the war. And you know, we already said what it is. Semis, that AI trade, transports, South Korea, a few other foreign markets that were strong before. And I'm going to be very wary of what was weak before. I'll be very wary of what can't rally up or what's hey, strong day in the home builders today. Give it its due. After somebody put a sell recommendation on them yesterday. But after a big drop. We're going to be wary of that. So we already scanned 2,000 names. We got our list. And we just need the M in market to not drive us up a wall. In fact, we don't even need a big rally from here in the indices. Why? There are areas very much outperforming those indices. We named them areas for you. But that would help. And if ever we say to you, hey, just letting you know, the S&P, NASDAQ breaking out, you buy the living hell out of them. That'll be a multi-month breakout. All right, up next. This, that, and the other thing. Whatever else. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. By the way, as I explained to you the different parts of media, here's one headline. Trump's Iran war is failing. That's one part. You know what the second headline is? Is Donald Trump the next Churchill? Again, it's politics is politics is politics. After listening back to my show yesterday and I'm hearing myself, I said, you know, we're just going to take a step back and let everybody else yell and scream. We're going to do the markets. We'll report some of that news, and we're going to leave it at that for now. Sometimes we get a little bit emotional because we give a crap. You know that, right? We give a crap. And again, as you know, we love some things, hate some things, but we were rooting for Biden, even though the worst president of all time, just because of the border. We were rooting for him. We were rooting for Trump first go round. We were rooting for Obama. We were even rooting for Clinton back then. And we were rooting for Bush. And whoever the next person is in, we'll root for them. We can disagree with them, but we'll root for them. Because they are making big decisions on all our well-beings. I'm just reading now this more drone attacks, bombings, some ceasefire, huh? Let me repeat a couple of things. I would love just a couple of days of settling down. Hang out. Pull back. Sit. After all, we're now going to head into some massive overhead resistance. But the market doesn't care about me. The big thing for me at this point, can we get above the old highs? You know, I heard somebody say, we're only 5 or 6% below the highs of the NASDAQ off the old highs. Somebody said the S&P, we're only about 3% off the old highs. So one would think it's going to be easy to get through, right? Just remember, when we scan it all. I think the technical condition needs to get better. And what I mean by that is you just can't have this area and that area doing well. You need a bunch. I think the financials would have to kick in gear better. And guess what? The big banks better. With the proviso, they report earnings next week and the week after. And we'll see what the reaction is. With the proviso. We think that's got to happen. Because we're already getting that AI semiconductor trade in gear. Amazingly so. So stay tuned. Earnings season coming up. Not sure what's going to be said. Whether they're going to say, well, oil prices are causing this, that, and the other thing, but we're getting some relief today. And I can promise you this, the more oil prices come down, the better. I paid $4.58 for the middle gas. I believe I paid $3.18 6-7 weeks ago. I think that's about right. $4.58 I paid. I think it was like $75. And I didn't have an empty tank. And I'm just thinking about people that are paying that much when they were paying a lot less. We're talking serious cake. Other news, Meta. It was up 54, finished up 37. All it took was them to say, just letting you know I got some AI things coming on. Now, I gather they did some AI stuff that didn't work very well. Well, they came back, they're doing it again, and the market bought it up. I always like when the market buys something up that does something that they failed at in the first place. I think it's because the market had a better day. Meta remains in a pretty good bearish trend, as well as a lot of the mega cap names. which had a strong day today. Amazon up 7 today. Still remains blah. Google was up 11 today. I'll never call it Amazon. Better. We'll give that a better. Microsoft, nothing. Nvidia was up 3.5. It was up 7 early. And still can't get motoring. And again, I got to repeat, avoid the frickin' software. Unbelievable that they were selling them off today. In a day like today. Watch for the news tonight. Muy importante. A lot of moving parts going on. And I have to repeat, in the middle of the day, I thought the market was going to get whacked. News came out. They're shutting the Hormuz Strait. They're pissed off that everything's being violated and all that crap. But it didn't. We'll see what tomorrow brings. We really like the semis. We really like the artificial intelligence trade in those areas. Add the little construction stuff in there. And by the way, some of the weaker ones came on today. We don't like China, but we do like South Korea. We're just talking strength. That's what we care about. The big strength. So until tomorrow, you have a great evening and drive carefully. When you get home, do like we do, quite simple. Make sure you hug your family and hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise. Stay well, be well. Have a great day, all. Good night.